Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch in the laws of one who recited a blessing on food and then was brought more. And this is a very important halacha today because it makes a great distinction between what we've been learning up until now. Until this point, all of the halachas that we were discussing is when you are eating in your own home and you have some kind of control or knowledge of that which is going on inside the kitchen and the food that is going to come your way onto the table. But now we have a halacha that when a person is invited to somebody else's house for a meal, how it's going to work, what our kavanah, what our initial intention is when we make the brachas on the food that we're eating. Kol zois, loy mairi ele ba'adam ha'ochel mishaloi. All of this that we have spoken about up until this point is when a person is eating his own food in his own house. But if the person is eating at his friend's home, since that he ate on one type of food, it exempts him from anything that they're going to bring him that is subject to that same exact blessing. Even if he no longer has the original food that he made the bracha on the table. Meaning that if I sit down and I'm having a piece of chicken and I made a shahakol, when I make my bracha, the hakol taluya bidas habalabayis, since that everything is dependent upon the intent of the host, when I come to that house and he's invited me for a meal and I sit down to eat, I have in mind that whatever my host is going to serve me, that's being covered by the bracha that I'm making right now, which means I don't have to know exactly what kind of food is going to come my way, but since that I trust that if he's serving me a meal, there's going to be more dishes that are going to come to the table and more types of food that he's going to place before me. Therefore, when I make my initial bracha, the initial blessing that I make, has in mind anything that the balabais, that this master of the house is going to place in front of me, is included in the original bracha that I'm making. However, if a person made a definite change of mind, which means originally I came to the house and I intend to eat whatever the host is going to serve me. And then somewhere in the middle of the meal I said, you know what, I'm full, I'm not going to eat anymore. And I made up in my mind that I'm not going to eat anymore. And then the host puts down another plate of food in front of me that looks too good to pass up. So that food that now has come after I changed my mind is no longer covered by my original bracha. Then you have to make a second blessing. Even if the host had no intention of serving you more, you came to his house, he served you lunch, he put everything down in front of you, but you're still hungry, and you ask him, excuse me, you have anything else that I could eat? And now he himself even changes his mind, and he brings you the food that you want. He's only giving you more because you asked for it. So you also don't need to make a bracha, because the guests expect that the person whose house that you're in is most likely intending to give you everything that you need and that you want for your meal. So he thought that you were done. Now you're informing him that you really need and you want more, and therefore, says the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, in such a case, even if the host changes his mind and now brings you more, it's still covered by the original bracha that you made, and you are not obligated in a new blessing at that point. So keep in mind the difference between all the laws that we said up until this point are talking about when it's in your house, when you or your wife is more in control of the food. When it's in somebody else's house, regular intention that a person makes when they sit down to eat is whatever the host is going to give me is what I have in mind, and therefore it will cover you for everything that comes your way. Have a wonderful day.